but it only applies when you buy, let's see, hand-painted portraits of the leadership team for the office wall.
Nice.
Hi, everyone, and hi, Sergey. Welcome to Cards Against Complexity.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
And great to have you. Sergey Petrov from Finom. You'll have in a second a moment to introduce yourself and Finom. But before I do that, a quick introduction to our podcast. So we'll give you an introduction, but we'll also have a Cards Against Complexity, one card for you. And then we'll dive a bit into your story at Finom. But maybe, first of all, tell us about yourself and what brought you to building Finom.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry about myself. I've been in probably financial world since the beginning of my career after university, like big banks, small banks, fintechs, in mobile industry, and probably like a side hustle. I've been in a small entrepreneurs from my like early ages, and like running a bakery, and what brought me to found Finom together with partners, other founders, is basically realization. Like I've been in the nouns for like 12 years, right, and doing some entrepreneurship, and this kind of realization that SME are underserved by traditional banks, and the reason behind that is that you either being an entrepreneur served by as retail consumer, or like you put in the corporate segment, and it's super costly for banks. That's why like something has had to be changed there, and good that the guys joined these efforts, and we teamed up together to do some exciting stuff here.
And we'll jump into that in a second. What's happening behind the scenes, but also for your customers at Finom. Before we do that, I've got a set of cards because this podcast is called Cards Against Complexity, so we might as well play. Let's see. I've got them here. You must see the screen right now. Do you see it? Yeah. So for everyone else who hasn't seen this podcast before, Cards Against Complexity, similar to Cards Against Humanity, I've got a card on the left-hand side with a sentence that needs completion. And we've got 3 cards on the right that, one of them you'll need to choose to complete the sentence. So here we go. Finom launches a debit card with 10% cashback. That sounds like a good deal. But it only applies when you buy, let's see, hand-painted portraits of the leadership team for the office walls, office space on Mars, that's a bit out there, desks with an integrated mini golf course.
Yeah, I would choose like love this. All options look really cool, but in general, entrepreneurship, and it's about like following your dream, and it's supposed to be like fun, then I believe, and with a lot of energy. So I would choose the third one, desks with integrated mini golf course, because it's like so entrepreneur would feel recharged by playing mini golf.
Yeah, and so encourage that kind of energy, getting a recharge. Maybe you can even provide the mini golf course yourself and build a side hustle on that. Yeah. Next to bakeries and banks, maybe a little mini golf side hustle. I can imagine that sitting in an office and being an upgrade to an entrepreneur's life. And maybe we switch over to that entrepreneur's life, because that's who you serve every day. When you mentioned bakeries, I mean, I can't go around that topic. I have to start with this. It's not in anything we pre-discussed or thought to talk about, but now I talk about it. You've seen a lot in your life before building Finom. Tell me about the bakery business, but maybe also a bit about banking and how banking and bakeries led to Finom.
Interesting, of course. Yeah, it's like regarding bakery business, it was a really short project, like for 7 months, where like, everybody has this idea doing like some corporate job of like, shall I try some side hustle, these type of things. And we tried like, why not to have a bakery, like proper one, because we saw the potential in Amsterdam. Like there is no good cakes, no pies, according to our standards.
That's all subjective. I just wanted to say that. So I can't tell.
Yeah, it was, because like Dutch cuisine is not a thing you should be proud about.
Okay, I don't know if we need to edit this out, but I get that in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And basically, when you try yourself in a different environment, you really realize what entrepreneurship is about. You need to be fully in, and there is no such a thing for me, just like anymore, as hustle, side hustle. That's the thing. You either like fully in, or you don't do this. That's the reason why, yeah, probably we stopped doing this bakery business. It's super difficult. And apart from this, like, you realize like how burdensome it's to run the business, because like being an entrepreneur, you need to basically set up a bank account. You need to set up like relationship with your accountant, or choose the accounting system where you operate. You need like a device to accept cards. Also like a lot of administration in there, and so on. And basically, like instead of selling, instead of like development, you doing some administrative stuff, which is not fun. And that's the thing.
Who loves that?
And something should change here. Like that's the thing. And it's the typical life of entrepreneurs, and especially small ones, where you establish a new business and basically like don't have many employees. You do it yourself. These type of things. And it's less and less like encouraging, or like drain your energy, and it's not fun.
It's not fun, and you saw that in baking. I mean, I hope the cakes and the bread was to your taste in the end, but you didn't make it a business because it was a side hustle. Now you're in not a side hustle. You're really in the trenches with Finom. You tried to solve that problem, and not only in the Netherlands, but you're going international. So, what were the biggest challenges on that journey, going like especially I guess in internationally scaling this kind of business for entrepreneurs for you, and where did you have to go really all in, like you said, to make this happen?
Yeah, basically, in our case, the challenge we like set a high bar from the very beginning. We called ourselves like, we don't want to be to try this standard approach what we've seen from many players. Like, okay, if I'm like good in Germany, I can be good in everywhere, and only like establish yourself as a good player in one market and go to another European markets, leveraging on your learnings from one market. No, from the one we basically said, no, we are an European player. And that basically like explain how and also like define how you organize the team and how you organize the infrastructure. We launched in order to speed up time to market and be like to release the payment products as soon as fast as possible. We launched and with two banking service providers simultaneously at the same time, starts to work on our own electronic money institution license in different jurisdictions, and basically like a big bet was on the Netherlands that was successful in the end. Yeah, and then just like realizing along the way that your basically initial thought that bank as a service providers would limit you with pan-European approach because they have their own agenda in development, and you need to be faster and with establishing your own infrastructure, but it takes time. It's like timing issue is like probably the biggest challenge here. Because like you need to do a lot of stuff and wait. Yeah.
Wait and see and build at the same time.
Yeah,
do it in parallel.
Yeah. Because like from the just like as an example, from the very beginning, like in 2019-20, we saw the biggest potential across all the markets in Europe is Italy. But to be honest, like we couldn't launch there all these years, like only in previous year when we built proper infrastructure and able to offer IBANs and reproduce all the offerings we have for this Italian market, we finally there. And it took like so many years because like of limitations and everything attached to this.
So, as you said, I mean, this is an all-in journey, right? Not a side hustle. What keeps you going in this journey over the years, especially against having all this complexity that you have to go through?
It's basically like this motto: can we do it? Can I do it? Just like it's some. It's interesting, just like interest that the major driver here, like it's interesting to challenge yourself. Can you do it? Make sure, like, can you motto? And when you do it, then it's like it provides you with additional energy to do more exciting things.
So show to yourself that you can do it. Go through that complexity. I mean, that's often like working with complexity in an industry in financial services, bringing that energy in. I heard earlier resilience, but this is also a strong motivation by yourself to say, I want to show to myself, I want to show to the team, and the team wants to show to themselves that they can do it. Yeah, very interesting. And now you're in a field where you described you saw big gap between what was in the market versus what you're now building for B2B users. But B2C trends are not stopping, right? And like everybody wakes up on Monday morning and wants to basically have the same service when they do their business transactions as they do have in their private life on the weekend. What's the biggest B2C trends you right now see impacting B2B and not being addressed now that you've basically covered the basics, I would say? What's the next one to go after?
Let's start from the basics, because like I don't believe they are covered and addressed enough. Major consumer trends like of consumers or people who are using, I don't know, Netflix type of services or Spotify, it's the speed and fast access to the desired content right now, right here, and that's the thing here. And compared to B2B banking, just like try to open an account in traditional banks, you will wait, I don't know, if you're lucky if you wait, I don't know, 3 weeks.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and basically like we at Finom tried from the very beginning, just like address and reiterate on this particular thing is the speed of onboarding. It shouldn't be so complex. It shouldn't be so time consuming for entrepreneurs anymore. And in our case, like in Germany, we expect that businesses can open an account in an hour with us. And this simplicity on the like surface, but how complex the logic behind this is like nobody, and especially entrepreneurs should even like know about. That's the really big thing here. And then another one, when you're transacting and you doing transactions, like the last thing you want as a business is like to have disruption of your payments or like stop payments due to whatever reason bank polls legitimate, but it's blood of your business money, and that's why like identification bad actors, like from financial crime perspective, fraudsters, and in building the proper engine to address this type of issue for business customer. It's really a big challenge here. So in short, basics are not covered. There are a few players who are addressing these things right, and we're in the same spot, just like to do right job here. Then the next thing, if we're talking about the consumer trends that is not being addressed, probably like it's something about future, how AI and the level of models, LLM models, will change basically like consumer trends in general, how they interact with platforms. Probably we talking about the change of interfaces here, or like agentic mode of searches instead of Google. Platform wise as well, like they need to find the way. And basically what I'm saying here, it's not only specific to B2B. We as an industry, no matter B2C or B2B, we are to reinvent it at some point of time to address the new trend.
And now you've got an industry where you're still working on the basics, and I mean, getting the basics right and removing the complexity into something very simple is already an honorable task with enough dedication can be done. Maybe AI and other trends coming in, surely somehow coming in. For now, if you look at others, like if somebody else would ask you now, so you started your entrepreneurial journey, you did this twice at bakery and here, you saw banking before. What's your advice after all your experience for somebody starting a fintech right now, regardless of B2B or B2C banking, but really starting from fresh? What would you do differently, or what would you suggest they focus on first?
I believe it's super important after all this journey. It's super important to fight and strive just like for controlling the infrastructure from the early day possible for you, because that's the ultimately the way how you would provide great customer experience, great customer journey. In the end, without this, anyone can replicate and be limited by the same infrastructural like partners limitations as others. That's the thing. And in practice, it means like get your license as soon as possible. Be bold on partnership with best providers out there, and do not let control some processes, especially like customer facing one, to someone else. That's the thing. That's the advice I would give.
So that sounds very much like, if I try to summarize a bit, and I might be putting words in your mouth, but keep at it. Really take it seriously, like build proper infrastructure, go seriously at the problem, go hard in it across. If you have to go international, you go international immediately. Try to find a few options, but go after the license, not the easy step. Keep the energy to show to yourself and to your team that you can do it. And if you need some more energy on the way, put a mini golf course under your desk, because you get 10% cashback probably soon at Finom. But there's probably much more coming. Very excited to have you here today. Thanks so much for sharing your journey all the way from baking to banking. But also, I think the honest truth of that entrepreneurial journey, and where it's taken you so far and where it will take you after this. Thank you so much for being here, Sergey.
Thank you for having me.